Friday podcast.
It should be the best of the whole week.
Yeah, man, even right now, just can't pay attention.
Oh, even still?
I just can't hang on to a thought.
Well, let's wrap this up. This is the last thing.
I'm sure you'll hear it if you listen really closely during the show today. So it just is what it is. So, hey, today in the show, we do talk about masks. Probably the most important thing we talk about is Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I think about it, that seems like the most important thing.
This is still trending. I saw it this morning even. So it's building steam because of something that he posted on his Instagram.
Because he built something that he could use for steam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you
Come
go.
on.
Look at that.
Come on. Other stuff in the show today. We talk donut deliveries, BMX Bandit, and Angel Summoner.
Perfect.
I just had to leave it in there. The 75th anniversary of the atomic bomb, the bubonic plague. See, it's a very uplifting show.
Stuff.
Yeah. Lunch tray compartments, Alex Trebek, Netflix originals top 10 list, according to Netflix. My weekend movie.
Oh, the plans.
Which, Nikki,
I'm kind of teasing you, but then I'm also amazed. You and I are just different. If I had a new I'm just not into movies as much as you are.
Sure.
I would rather not watch anything, but I know you like to watch movies. So I don't think to watch old classic movies.
You know here's what I have realized, honestly, is that I have almost forgotten the stuff that I really like to do, which sounds dumb, but like I get caught up doing different things. And so I'm getting to the place now where I basically almost make myself sit down and watch a movie, set my phone aside, set whatever down, because that's what I used to get out of going to the theater.
Sure.
It was like a 2-hour break where I had to focus on one thing and one thing only. And it really just is good for me. And so with movies at home on the weekends, I'm basically forcing myself to do that again. I'm picking a movie for the weekend, making myself sit still and watch it, not have my phone, not have anything.
Like you would be in a movie theater.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like recreating that experience for myself.
Now you're just doing it with old movies.
And I do. But that's been the fun.
But you like it.
Well, that's the other thing that I've done is that I've let go of the idea of watching a movie that I have to be able, it's got to be relevant.
Sure.
It's got to be new. It's got to be this. I'm literally just, if I see something and I have that spark of, I want to watch it, that's all I need to have.
And then that means you'll enjoy it.
Exactly. Sorry, guys, long explanation.
He even loves it now.
Well, I've been thinking about it. So other stuff in the show, the Xbox, we're done.
Well, we also have James from Collington.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a new band on RadioU, so we introduce you to him. When you're done with this, make sure you check out RadioU and RadioU Riot, both of our Facebook pages. You can actually watch our interviews, including James, and kind of hang out with us. We'll do a food fight on Monday, so that'll be up on Monday for our Facebook page. So if you get notifications and you like the page, then you'll get notified when we have a new one.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else?
Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for listening today.
Bye.
If it's louder than it has to be and way worse than it has any right to be, it must be the worst of the riot. On RadioU.
Maybe this won't be helpful, but every once in a while, I just like to take a big picture view of the situation. And could you imagine if I came up to you at your New Year's party, New Year's Eve, and I'm just like, all right, I'll tell you what, in 6 months.
Remember when we had those?
In 6 months, you are either going to be wearing a mask or you're going to be burning one like this is a 60s protest, okay? Like, what? That's
one or the other.
But regardless, you're going to be so angry. Let me see your palm. Let me read your lifeline. So much anger here.
Anger you never knew you had bottled up inside of you.
So much anger.
No, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
We didn't. And so every once in a while, I just roll over at night or look out the window during the day and think, is this really happening? No. We're going to get a redo. Like, this is not actually a thing. Like, this is just, no. Right now, this is some bad pizza that I had, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, wow, I had the craziest dream. Happy New Year, everybody. Last night, I dreamed that I was really mad about a face mask. And like, oh, you know what? It's New Year's Day. We're going to watch some football, some intentional face masking. Am I right? Oh, no. But man.
That's what you were thinking about?
That's what I've been thinking about. I have. I've got Facebook is normally where I go to get my daily dose of anger, but heading over to Twitter today to look at.
Oh, it fills the void too for more anger.
Well, what it is, where I live in a couple of counties in the surrounding area, they are now they were at a point where they're like, hey, it would be nice if you wore a mask. And now they're like, no, you have to wear one. And the amount of anger from the couple of neighbors that I do follow on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to
mute.
I think we're going to have to mute.
Going to have to figure something out.
I'm not going to unfollow because then that becomes a whole thing.
Well, then the anger that they have about everything else will be directed your way.
Well,
and you're not ready for that.
Oh, I'm definitely not ready for that.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
Yesterday, Nikki sent me something that...
I love sending that.
It was so wonderful. I don't know if you're familiar with Henry Cavill. He's still technically Superman.
Is he? I was wondering if he still holds the title, or did they already refill that?
He says he still wants to come back and do more Superman, and I say, great. I think he's a great Superman. I think Man of Steel's a great movie, aside from the terrible fumbling of the relationship between Clark Kent and Jonathan Kent. What a train wreck that is.
But if you put that aside,
right,
you still thought it was good.
I still like it, and I think Henry Cavill's a good Superman. And yesterday, I don't know if you saw it, and granted, you may be in different parts of the internet than we are, but yesterday, Henry Cavill on Instagram posted a 5-minute video of him building his own computer.
People online were going crazy. It's like, would you watch anyone else build a PC? No. But would you watch Henry Cavill? Yes.
Well, it just shows you, Nikki, he really is one of us.
He's bringing everybody together.
One of the things that I love about it is that I have heard from a lot of people in the quote-unquote gamer community, which I'm, I guess, kind of a part of. They're real snide about the fact that he says that he's been playing games forever.
Yeah.
In fact, he says that he missed the phone call that he was Superman because he was playing World of Warcraft.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that about him.
So a lot of people are like, whatever, this guy's a poser. He's not a real nerd. Look at him.
Well, I think they're just jealous based off of that. But I didn't catch, was in partnership with anybody, or was he just building a PC to play something?
I think he was just
building to build?
I mean, there was a Logitech logo on it, but I didn't see any Logitech gear in what he was building. So maybe it was like Henry Cavill used our camera to build. I don't know the answer to that. I do know this, though. Street cred, that dude he straight up built a PC.
Now listen, Obi's been telling you guys.
I watched him do it.
Obi's been telling you guys to build your own PC for years, and no one made it go viral like this thing. So now are we going to listen?
Dude, you guys should do it. You should build your own. I'll come and help you. It's great. Actually,
you should do a parody video
of me.
Just you building one too, just like his.
You know what? That's a great idea. Just like his. And now the station's going to have to pay for it.
Yes, we'll have to pay for a new build. But
yeah.
I think that's worth it for the viral success.
Sensation, yeah.
Yeah, that'll come from the video. It'll be amazing.
He put together a nice computer.
Did he?
Yeah. They did a lot of cover the logo. But if you look closely, it's like, oh, yeah.
That's the good stuff.
That's a good choice, man.
So, again, it was Henry Cavill yesterday that was trending. He built his own PC, and he put it on Instagram.
It's not fair. It's not fair that he's so good looking.
And he does that, too.
And he does that. It's like you only get one or the other.
He has it all.
You can't have both.
I'm sorry.
Famous, good-looking guy, hugely ripped. And when he's not in the gym, he's building PCs online.
And he's a gamer.
Shut up.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the Worst of the Riot on Radio U.
A few minutes ago, Nikki and I were talking about, maybe it's time to buy shirts again. We should get some new T-shirts. And you know what? Apparently, we're not the only ones. Did you know that in the month of June, spending on clothing in the United States doubled?
In June?
In June.
But see, I want to see the breakdown. They said since quarantine and stuff, the type of clothing everybody's buying is more like T-shirts, active wear, but you don't have to be active to wear it.
Yeah, no, that's just something you
it's
say.
not like we're buying anything too nice and too fancy because there's no place to wear it to.
Well, I don't have that information.
If it doesn't have that breakdown, we're not interested.
All I know is that if you look at clothing stores, their retail income was up 105%.
Actually, in physical stores or just online ordering?
I don't know.
Okay, then don't bring it to me. Because who was going in the stores?
I don't know. Look, we bought this is the news. This is the story. We bought clothes in June.
Okay, so I bet it probably included online as well.
Where did they get them? What did they buy?
These aren't bad questions. I'm just curious. I'm very curious because we haven't been in a store for a while.
I don't have those answers. I just have percentages on stores and what we spend our money on. I can tell you this, that overall, whole package, not just clothing, online orders were down 2.4%.
Okay.
That I know.
That you do have.
So apparently, 2% of our online income we took over to the physical store.
Gotcha.
I have been clothes shopping since pandemic time. I went to an Old Navy. That was an interesting experience. Old Navy is usually that place that you go and people are standing on top of you while you're shopping. Like, here, don't worry, I'm just going to stand on your shoulders so I can see over you.
You mean it's crowded?
Always. And so I went over there. I had to wait in line. And
outside before you could go in.
Outside, had to wear a mask to go in, which, fine. Went in, and it was like the way you wish you shopped. You went in, and there weren't a lot of people.
Like in the movies when you see them close the shop down if someone's famous enough, and then you can go in and quietly close shop and then buy and not have it be a big parade of people. It's like that probably.
It is like that.
Even though deep down people are waiting for you to get out of the store so they can get in.
Up.
So the whole line out there is just looking at you while you wait.
Gosh.
Like, he's trying it on. Just get out. Just return it if it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, that's the story, Nikki. We apparently in June, our sales were up 105% at clothing stores. So maybe it is physical stores because it says stores. And electronics, our spending was up 37%.
Maybe it was the hopes that as quarantine was breaking for a lot of places, we started to go out and go shopping. But I was reading an article last week and they were saying, depending on the level of not the quality, but the level of the pricing of the items, that if it's like an office wear store, they're all just going out of business because no one's really buying or putting a lot of money into office wear right now.
Yeah, which
we never did.
Nobody's going in. I mean, RadioU office wear is basically the stuff you sleep in. That's what we wear to work.
The Old Navy stuff he was looking at, that is his office wear.
Yeah, I bought some new workwear, aka pajama pants, were on sale.
T-shirts and some flip-flops that you are wearing into the shower, but we can wear here to work.
It's pretty great.
The Riot really wanted to do this live, but now they can play video games and eat rice cakes instead. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki?
Yes?
I just got a text from Neil.
Oh, you guys spoil us so much.
I hope he's not trying to slowly poison us, not spoil us.
No, he was kind enough to drop off some donuts for us.
Krispy Kreme donuts, Nikki.
That's what you needed today, right?
Yeah.
The McDonald's wasn't enough. You needed something else today. Now you'll be good.
Oh.
He put his head down in his hands when I said that.
Picard face palmed that right there.
That is so sweet of you, Neil. Thank you for dropping those off for everybody.
Here's my answer. I at least have to wait a little bit before I eat them.
Well, and then get a cup of coffee and you can enjoy them.
Yeah, but dude, that was
so sweet.
That was very nice of you. Nikki, I'm not doing well with being careful with what I eat.
Well,
I had a donut yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I even drove, this is sad, there's a gas station kind of on my way home. They get a donut delivery from, I can't remember the name of the bakery, but their donuts are spectacular.
Yeah.
And I was driving home yesterday, and I was like, I worked for at least 4 hours today. It's been a really hard day.
You deserve something nice.
I really deserve
Oh,
a
I know what it
donut.
is. The problem is when we start rewarding ourselves with food. We're not supposed to do that.
That's what you're not supposed
So
to
that's,
do.
I think, like the warning sign when that
Ding,
happens.
ding, ding, ding,
we
ding.
didn't reward ourselves with these donuts. These were a gift.
Neil, this is a gift. And to not enjoy that gift would be wrong, Nikki. It would be wrong.
Well, that'd be rude.
It'd be wasting Neil's money and time.
It'd be rude, insensitive, not appreciative. So
Well, I can't have any of that.
you need 2 donuts.
I got to fully demonstrate my appreciation.
You do, to be kind. But yesterday, that was just extravagant if you went out and got
That
them
was
yourself.
absurd.
That's
That was
a problem.
ridiculous.
That's
self-indulgent. Part of the problem.
That's when you know that you need to work on something. But
Thank
not
you.
today. Today, you can go all out on those.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you. Hey, speaking of doing things, up in a few minutes, what are we like? What did we say? 45 minutes, 40 minutes? We're going to be talking to
James from Collington.
Yeah, that.
Collington is a new band. It's been featured on the Battle of the Buzz for like the last maybe up to 2 weeks. Did a really nice run on that. The song starts today on RadioU, so you can request it and vote for it for the most wanted. We're going to check in with James so he can introduce you to the band.
Nick just texted. He says, Obadiah, you've waited long enough. Go ahead and eat the donut.
It seems like it's about time. He's got his coffee and he's ready.
And Zach says we need Krispy Kreme donuts from Chillicothe, another Radio U spot. They're the original. I've actually had those donuts, and they're very good.
Do they taste any different? Or?
Yeah, they are different, but they're good.
All right.
Yeah. Listen, donuts are good.
We can only have it, though, remember, if someone gives it to us.
Right.
So,
right.
like, if you're fighting, like, say, pizza for dinner, if someone orders it for you, gets it for you, then you can actually have it, but you just can't do it yourself.
Yeah, good call, Nick. Yeah, I like that. Does Uber Eats count?
Yeah, if
They
you get
brought
someone
it.
to place the order,
Okay.
then it's fine.
We would give the Riot flowers to show our appreciation, but Obadiah's probably allergic. What isn't he allergic to? This is the Riot on Radio U.
I wanted to come back here and talk about stuff, but all I can think about is Nikki sent me this link when I was out sick, and it was about this old show that we love and these 2 characters, Angel Summoner and BMX Bandit. I can't
get it out of your
stop
head.
thinking about it.
So Obi and I, if you've been a fan of the Riot for a long time, you'll realize that Obi and I sometimes watch shows that maybe not everybody else thinks is as
Not
funny as we
everybody's
do.
into it, yeah.
But we really enjoyed this sketch comedy show from the UK called Mitchell and Webb, and it's been off for a while. It wasn't on for like too long, but it has some amazing sketches. It has some terrible ones, but
Yeah,
it has
it
some
does.
amazing ones. And that was one of them. So I thought it was fitting.
It's hilarious because it's all about how there are these 2 guys fighting crime together. There's BMX Bandit who uses his BMX to solve crimes. And
It works. When you watch the sketch, it works.
And there's Angel Summoner who's able to summon a horde of angels to defeat crime. And so BMX Bandit becomes a little jealous that they never use his BMX skills and instead just keep summoning hordes of angels.
Yeah. Did you go and watch any?
Oh,
I
yeah,
told him to
no,
go
I
down. Like, you have to go down a YouTube hole of this show.
There are 2, like, somebody has these clips that are like an hour long that are basically like, hey, this is the best of season 1, best of season 2. I laughed so hard. And the thing I love about it is they're the kind of things that I laugh harder the more I think about it, and I'll get away from it. And then I'm walking back to the studio when I should be focused on our show. And all I can think is him going, yeah, we could do that. We could. Or I could just summon a horde of angels.
And you just can't get that out of your head.
And I can't stop thinking about it.
Well, if you decide to look up
That
clips
and that
from
noise
it,
outside our building that you guys can't hear.
they're working on our parking lots outside, and so they've been there. But yeah, if you look up stuff from the show, what are our favorites? Our favorites are Number Wang, Word Wang, The Baddies, and
that's like the old school original. That's from their first episode.
And then the snooker stuff, which is like pool in the UK.
Yeah, and don't forget about the vegan and the cat.
There's the vegan and the cat, and then the toothbrush one for the advertising thing. So
your tongue is filthy.
There's some classics. So it just helps you understand our humor a bit.
That's where we're coming from.
Just where we're going to be from.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, Nikki, Spirit Airlines made the show last week, 2 weeks ago, because they make me furious. They're always, if you go searching for cheap airfare, they always come up, and then you find out stuff where they're like, yeah, seatbelts are extra.
So you get a fare alert that it's like, hey, it's $15 for this amazing fare, but it's not by the time you actually check out, but it tricks all the fare alert stuff.
It does. Drives me insane.
And there's a lot of, a lot of added expenses that people don't maybe realize. So there's a lot of conflict when people go to the airport to get on Spirit Airlines that they might not have known that it could be an extra cost for them.
Right. The days of you buying an airline ticket and them taking your luggage, treating you kindly, and taking you to your seat are over. All right?
I don't even know. Was that ever there?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think, listen, I've seen video.
Yeah.
Of things.
Of nicer times
of a different time.
When you could fly.
Yeah. Actually, what was that show? Mad Men? I watched that where they get on the plane and it's like they're getting a 3-course meal. They're smoking and they're in coach. You're just like, what the heck?
Was that how airlines were back then?
I know that's just a TV show, but man, it looks like a real fantasy to me.
Now you're just herded on and you just sit there and you're supposed to be quiet.
It's like, I'll take that secondhand smoke if you'll treat me like that. Can we do that?
Nope, not an option.
Let's get back to this. So there was a flight going to Philadelphia from Fort Lauderdale.
No offense, for Florida, but a lot of times the issue, a lot of people go into Florida on Spirit Airlines because it's affordable and they want to take a vacation. So people are either so amped up to get there or so sad to be leaving vacation that I think that leads to some of the arguments.
But how do you know that these people weren't going to Philadelphia for vacation? Perhaps they were some people from South Florida that wanted to go, Nikki, and they wanted to learn. There's a lot of American history.
They're not going.
In Philadelphia, Nikki.
They're not going there.
The Liberty Bell.
They're not going there in the heat of the summer for
Continental
vacation.
Congresses.
They'd rather have their own heat of their own summer in Florida.
If you say so.
So what was the conflict?
Well, the flight got delayed, and pretty soon they started yelling, and then they started throwing things at the people that worked at Spirit Airlines.
The passengers were?
Yeah, they threw phones, shoes, water bottles, metal boarding signs. I don't know what that. Fast food, and on and on. So they got arrested for battery charges.
Don't be throwing your items, just in case maybe they wanted them put on the plane. They were just tossing them ahead of time.
You think that's what it was?
Yeah, like, will you please?
Like, we were trying to check our water bottle. They wouldn't take it. It's not my fault they can't catch to save their life. It seemed reasonable.
Well, we know the lies when planes are like, it's late. Like, just tell the truth. Just tell what's going on.
I don't know. I don't want to be a jerk, but a delayed flight from Florida to Philadelphia doesn't seem like a big deal. I mean... You're
saying that now, but depends on how delayed.
What is it, a 2-hour flight?
Yeah. That's a while. You got to sit there. You're uncomfortable. They're lying to you. You know it.
Well, I mean, of course, it's all lies. Everything's lies.
Because it's like, here, I'll just come back tomorrow when my actual plane will be here.
Hey, you know what? It's an extra day in Florida. Whee!
Yay!
You will not deprive me of the Liberty Bell today, sir.
Yeah, this is what happens. It's hard when you go and you travel and everybody else is so mad and you're just sitting there keeping your head down, just trying to get to where you're supposed to go, and everybody else is fighting and everybody else is mad and you get drawn into it.
Please don't talk to me. I just want to go to the place.
I just want to complete my travels, please.
I just want to go to the place.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Want to take some time out and say a big happy birthday to the atomic bomb?
No.
Happy birthday,
no,
splitting the atom. Happy birthday to the nuclear age where we live in fear of the bomb. Whee! What? Why are you?
I don't know about that.
No, but
I don't think so. But is it the day?
Actually, it is. 75 years ago today, the United States detonated the very first atomic weapon. Today was the test day.
Is that the footage you always see of them testing it in the desert or something?
Well, we tested a lot of nuclear weapons in the desert, so maybe. But it was codenamed Trinity was the operation, and it was that, and then it was dropped in Japan 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, something like that. But it was tested first out in Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo, depends on who you are.
Amarillo.
Yeah, but that's where it all happened 75 years ago today. That actually, I will tell you, I read a book a couple of years ago about the creation of the atomic bomb and the things that happened afterwards, and it is terrifying. When I found it to be terrifying. You
find it still worth reading, or was it too terrifying?
I'll tell you why I thought it was worth reading is that it was interesting, one, to see what was going on. It was a group of people that they all came together for the Manhattan Project to create this bomb. They were so terrified of what was going on in Europe and with Japan that they were desperate to stop the war and to win the war. But then once they actually created the atomic bomb, they were concerned. They were so terrified of what they have created that most of the people, or a lot of the people that made the bomb, became the ones that became on the forefront of saying, "Hey, nuclear disarmament. We shouldn't use these things. We shouldn't have them."
And they were the ones that created it.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be interesting.
All of that stuff. It made for fascinating reading, and it's just interesting to see. I mean, for us, we look at history and we're like, it happened. But when you read about it and see it as it's unfolding, how, at least for me, I start thinking well, how would I react to that? What would I do? And then, of course, for us, it's just history. But in the middle of the drama of it unfolding, these are just new events to the people involved. And it's fascinating. It's also weird to me. Man, I'll tell you what, we always think about there was Hiroshima and Nagasaki and that was it. And it's bro, between us and Russia, we set off hundreds, bajillions of nuclear weapons
that people just don't know about.
Yeah. I mean, crazy stuff. And when you read about it, okay, I see that you know what? You read the book and you got a lot of info about it.
I'll just stop. You got a lot of info.
It was fascinating to see, but it was terrifying because it was real. And we'll just stop. So 75 years ago today, the first time an atomic weapon was detonated. Whoa.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I don't want to alarm you, but we did have a person that had the plague in the United States.
Yeah, did we talk about that?
No, that was Mongolia.
No, in the United States, it was in Colorado, and they found that a squirrel had the bubonic plague.
Right.
Is that it?
Okay, but all right, here's the thing. Maybe I didn't connect all the dots. I heard about the marmots that were in Mongolia and the person that got it from the marmots. Then I heard that we had infected squirrels.
Yeah, that was here in Colorado.
But I never heard the squirrels got to a guy.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So
you're saying that detail was there the whole time and I just missed it?
No, it's not. I don't think we even brought any of that up.
A squirrel got to him and he died.
No,
I'm sorry. Wait. Stop.
Hang on,
somebody else died.
Someone died in Mongolia.
The Colorado person recovered. I'm sorry.
That's
I messed
a big
that up.
detail right there.
It was. We fixed it.
Yeah, okay.
We fixed it.
I don't know. The guy who, unfortunately, someone passed away in Mongolia from the plague because he ate a marmot,
right.
The rodent there that
not
they've been
a varmint.
No, but
a marmot.
What they've been having trouble with for spreading it in that area. Here it's squirrels, and they were afraid. They said, you should just be staying away. But they were saying that it could possibly bite you, and that's how it would infect somebody.
Right. So that's There's stuff
I
happening
don't want
out
to hear.
there.
I thought we talked about we don't want to hear any more about anything else that might be another problem.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to. I can't.
But I wanted to listen. I just wanted to say it was all a big joke when yesterday I kept talking about the comet and the comet.
Well,
there is a comet.
Give more context about what next is coming.
Here's the thing. Everybody's like, oh no, the bubonic plague's going to get us. And my joke for the last couple of days has been to people as they're talking about something terrible that's happening. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. The comet's going to come and it's going to take care of everything, meaning that it's going to destroy the earth and we don't have to worry anymore. And then I noticed that there actually is a comet that is now visible in the sky at night. It's the Neowise comet.
Is it a danger one, or is it like, oh, it's pretty? Are we supposed to be staying up to look at it?
We're supposed to think it's pretty, but I just want you to know, I thought the bubonic plague was over. So
just don't bring anything up. If anything's potentially this horrible thing that could just take us all out, don't mention it. Because it might actually happen.
It's crazy time.
And I'd
everywhere.
rather not know about it
you
ahead of time.
Just let the comet hit us. We don't even know.
Just let it go. I don't even want to know.
Like, hey, what's that sound? And then that's it.
That's fine with me.
No
Doesn't
big
that
deal.
sound fine?
It does.
Sounds better than the other alternative.
It does. All right. Okay. Well, I won't tell you about the comet then. Forget about the comet. And you don't forget this whole Colorado nonsense. You don't live there, so it's fine.
Not going to worry. We're just moving on. We're going to have a great weekend. We're not going to think about anything else.
We'll talk to Collington. That's next.
Yes, we're going to check in with James and introduce you to a new band.
That'll help us forget.
Are people really still listening to the Riot? You don't have work to do or laundry to fold or literally anything else to do? The Riot, Radio U.
It's always awesome to get a chance to meet new artists. And in the case of Collington here, that would be new to us.
Yes.
It's not like this guy's a new artist that just stumbled out of bed yesterday, finally making some art.
Well, this is James. He's a part of Collington, which has been in the Battle of the Buzz, just lost, and now is in what we call rotation on Radio U starting today. So you don't have to wait to hear it just during the Battle of the Buzz. You can hear the new song Against the Wall anytime you want to request it.
Good morning, James.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing today?
Just living the dream, living my best quarantine life.
Good.
So, actually, speaking of quarantine, where are you located right now?
So I'm in Rhode Island.
Okay. So are you guys under like a strict quarantine thing, or are you just, staying at home as best you can? Like, what are you doing?
So we've been pretty fortunate that the cases have been pretty low here, but like most people, just kind of sheltering in place. And so developed a vinyl record addiction during the last few months, as well as a coffee subscription addiction. So
that's good.
Okay. So then tell me, how many vinyl have you bought?
I would say since March.
Since March. So let's say, 4 months?
I don't know the exact number. If I looked, I'd probably get pretty depressed. So the collection on my shelf went from like this to like
way bigger. Okay, so what about so what month did you get into the coffee subscription then? Did you just come to it at the start of quarantine, or you're like, I should? Did you work yourself into it, or what? How did that look?
Probably about a month in, because like Starbucks. So we're in the land of Dunkin' Donuts, which not knocking Dunkin' is just not my thing, and so Starbucks is passable if you are in a hunch and need to get done. And then the lines were going like at least a good quarter of a mile long, and so I had to resort to plan C at that point, which was coffee subscriptions.
Yeah,
sounds like a good plan.
So how about this? Like, what's the best thing you've had? Now, we didn't prep you for that, so you may not be able to answer it. So like, has there been one in particular that's really hit you?
Yeah, Necessity Coffee out of Pennsylvania.
He's writing it down. You didn't know this, James, but Obi's a coffee guy too, so he could very well do with a subscription.
So
Necessity Coffee.
After that, I just stopped like trying out new coffees altogether. And it's just like, we're doing Necessity Coffee. Okay.
Well, so do they have their own subscription, or are you still getting all these other random coffee things in?
So I never really like did the full subscription. I just kind of like, I think it's one of the subscription services. They'll just match you up with roasters, and then you can just go full on with that. And that was just kind of the one they did first, and then I was just like, we're done. We're locking this in.
It's like you made the perfect match.
It's it. It's like, you hear these people meeting people on eHarmony, and the first one's the one they marry to. It was like that, but with coffee. So it's good.
Well, this is James from Collington. Just a reminder, the new song, Against the Wall, starts today on Radio U. Though if you are a fan of Radio U TV, you've been able to watch recently the music video for the song. So you can check out RadioU.tv if you want to catch that after we're done talking.
Now, James, you're new to a lot of our audience, so why don't you give us a little bit of the Collington backstory?
Yeah. Just started kind of writing songs in college, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and what I should be doing, and really just kind of what the Lord wanted me to be doing with myself. And like most people in my demographic, I felt kind of guilty for not going to Bible school, and just really felt like this is what I was supposed to be doing. And pretty cool. It's been a wild ride. I've been able to work with a bunch of my heroes. And, it's led me to talking with you guys today.
Now, I know the answer, but you tell us, who have been some of your heroes
that you've been excited to work with?
Yeah. So a few years ago, I went out to Utah to work with a gentleman named Aaron Gillespie.
Yeah, come on.
I know him from, he toured with Paramore for a little bit, and of course, Under Oath. And then the last EP I put out, I worked with a guy named Eric Young, who's responsible for some Hillsong United remixes, and he mixed all of John Foreman's last EP series stuff.
Awesome, dude. So you really have mixed it up with some legendary peeps.
It takes longer in the industry to get to be able to work with some of those heroes like you're mentioning. So it's amazing that you had a chance to do that so soon.
Yeah. It's a dream come true. And, I'm so grateful for it.
Awesome. So the EP is out there, but in the meantime, aside from coffee and buying vinyl, what's the band scene like when you're sheltering in place?
Yeah, I've been trying to stay away from the live stream stuff. So other than just basically having all your shows and festivals canceled, it's been business as usual in terms of just online marketing and release for new music. We didn't luckily have to push it out like a lot of people did with their music just because of the world situations. It got really weird for a little bit, but luckily, other than just staying at home, it's business as usual. Which
I
is
feel
cool.
like after the quarantine and, again, different states, people are staying in more, or for some it's opening up, for others it's closing back up. But I feel like probably early next year, we should have so much music from bands.
So much everything.
Like music, because you guys have been, everybody who's so creative has just been inside, I know, writing and still making music. So it'll be nice when things open up that you guys can actually in person share it with people. But if not, we're just going to have a slew of amazing new songs.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Hopefully it's all good, because it's just like, I feel like people know they have an audience, and so they just put anything out, and it's just like, did you record that video in a cave or something? Like, what's going on there?
I get what you're saying.
And
let's do it right.
Yes,
they did probably. It was actually in a closet, not a cave.
Yeah.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
Before we get into other, I want to get into the cafeteria. Now, I understand that everybody has had a different experience in the cafeteria.
Sure.
But I keep thinking about, at least for me in elementary school, it wasn't like this in high school, but if you got hot lunch, you would get this little styrofoam tray, because we hated to IRF, and you would get a little thing in these little compartments.
Yeah.
So it would be here's the mac and cheese, and it had its own little space it fit in.
Here's the entree part.
Right. And then here's the brownie, which got the smallest compartment, when I really wanted the brownie to be entree sized.
But the dessert section needed to be small in proportion to the rest of the food.
Most assuredly. And I don't know if this is true or not, but maybe that's where we learn to compartmentalize our life. This is the work part. This is the fun part over here with the brownie. You
can't have it until you finish the work compartment.
No pudding till you eat your meat. I don't know. I don't
Quite
know.
Possibly.
But I do know this. I know that one of the things that we have done that is really not great for us, and in some ways is kind of dumb, is that we have started to think of God as being all right, God, you've got a little compartment over here. And every once in a while, when I'm not in the work compartment or the fun compartment or the relationship compartment or the whatever, I'm going to come over and visit you for just a little bit and let's go. And we think when I talk about let's start a relationship with Jesus, we're like, ooh, I do have an empty spot on the tray. We'll just dump a little bit on the tray right there. Or you might be like me where you go, man, I ain't got no room on the tray. The last thing I need is you putting another thing on the tray. Okay? Daggone it. You know what? God's not interested in any of that. God wants to be the fork. He wants to be the one that goes with you into every single compartment, everywhere on the tray. You see, God doesn't want to be walled off into some corner of our life. He wants to be a part of life. He wants to be a part of, the teeth brushing and the going to work and the whatever. That's what a relationship with God is about. So I'm not asking you to make room on your tray. I'm not asking you to add a compartment or everybody hold hands and sing this song while we go over to this compartment for a minute. No, I'm telling you that God wants to be a part of the whole meal, all of your life. So look, if you don't have a relationship with him, or maybe you do and you're not getting this, you got to grab this. God wants to be a part of all of it. The good, the bad, the brownie, the whatever healthy thing they've thrown in that they don't even put salt on anymore. He wants to be a part of that whole thing. A relationship with him is all day, every day, all the time. Say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I don't want to put you in a compartment. I want you to come do all of life with me.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, Radio U.
Nikki, are you familiar with Jeopardy?
Yes, I am.
Ideally, the music would have started right there.
Da, na, 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 na.
I don't know where it went. I can't find
Da,
it.
na, na,
The real
na,
question is, where is Obadiah's Jeopardy music?
It's gone.
Yeah, whatever. So let's talk Alex Trebek. Nikki yesterday put out a little statement.
Video update?
Yeah, he did. He says...
we don't watch Jeopardy, but, I mean, his journey of what he's been going through with cancer, his video updates, I mean, man, they are emotional when he has these.
And I didn't realize, and we have learned, but I just didn't realize how much people love Alex Trebek, which they do.
It works!
There it is! So he put out an announcement yesterday saying that he's doing well. He's continuing his treatment for pancreatic cancer. And he says it's been paying off. His numbers are good. He's feeling great. But he says the treatment is fatiguing him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's pretty common.
I would think it'd be hard just to host the show anyways, but you add him doing treatment. I know they'd been taking a break for COVID stuff, but I think back when all that was going on at the early part of the pandemic, he was pretty vocal in saying he wants to return right away when California would let them to begin to film again.
Well, and he is maintaining that statement, Nikki. He says that he's still looking forward to getting back in the studio, and he has written a book while he was going through treatment.
Really?
Yeah, the book is called The Answer Is Reflections on My Life. Comes out July 21st, so next week, and it's just Alex
the day
Trebek.
Before his 80th birthday.
Oh, so it's him telling some of the stories from his life.
Aww.
Yeah, so very cool. Again, I know that we talked to several of you that are in our audience. You know, we share an audience, Jeopardy and the Riot there.
I don't think we do, but again, for all of us that don't watch Jeopardy, when he came out with his story about pancreatic cancer and like especially the struggle in the beginning, I mean, those were trending everywhere because it was very emotional to see.
Yeah, but it's exciting to hear that he's doing better. And if you want to get to know the guy a little bit more, his book will be out next week.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, what did I say we were going to talk about? Netflix!
There it is. Netflix has announced some of their most popular movies of all time.
Yeah, and it sounds like, Nikki, you were right on top of this whole Netflix thing by watching. What did you watch over the weekend? It was the Chris Hemsworth one?
Oh, no, that was back during our vacation week.
Oh, was it?
Around the 4th of July.
It's all running together.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean,
Extraction it's their top movie.
Better than I thought it would be of all time?
Of all time.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, no wonder they gave a second one then.
Yeah, so it is. I think these numbers, though, okay, so like they've given some numbers. So like it's been watched 99 million times.
So wait, before we get into this, You're going to hear the name Adam Sandler probably a lot in some of the top movies, maybe.
He's not.
He's not in there? Or like a David
3,
Spade
4,
or
5. I mean, unless I'm misunderstanding, like he's not in the top 5.
Because a lot of times his movies just get so many views. But all right, I guess I was wrong.
All right, so here we go. And let's make sure this data is from them, right? This came from Netflix, right?
I don't know.
So, all right, here we go. So we've got Extraction at 1, Bird Box at 2.
Sure.
The third one, I would have never guessed that this would be anywhere in the top 10. You ready? Spencer Confidential.
What's that one?
That is the Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, the recent one from this year?
Yeah. Now, I think that might be based on a book or something because there's a TV series from the 80s or the 90s or something that was a Spencer thing about this Spencer person.
Good one.
And so
we know all the details.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's all we can tell you. We don't want to spoil anymore.
Their number 4 movie, most popular of all time on Netflix, 6 Underground.
Uh-huh.
Remember that? Ryan Reynolds.
That was
such
awful.
Not a good movie. Not a good movie.
That was a terrible movie. Everybody stopped watching around the same time mark.
That's because that's the best part of the movie.
Oh, it's terrible.
The first 20 minutes of that movie is a spectacular action sequence.
But it's all like filler. It's just terrible. It's just like, here's different angles for the car chase.
Oh, now don't. I'm not going to stand for that. I'm not going to stand for that.
You're sitting.
That car chase. That car chase.
Boring.
No, it is. How can you say that?
I can't.
You are just trolling right now.
I'm not trolling. You don't need to troll that movie. It was that bad. You don't need to.
Not the beginning of it. You're wrong. Sorry.
Is it during the flashbacks or what part of the movie are we?
No, the beginning of the movie is good. Whatever the rest.
So what else is the top movies from Netflix?
All right, so number 5, Murder Mystery. I don't know what that is.
That was, I can look that up. Murder. It's from one of the people you never think. Murder Mystery. That is.
Oh, that is an Adam Sandler movie.
He made it into the list. That's Adam Sandler. Oh, that was the one with Jennifer Aniston. That wasn't the worst either.
A New York cop and his wife going to Europe. Okay, you know what?
Remember that one?
I did see that one.
Yeah.
Didn't I? Is Jennifer Aniston in more than one of those?
With him?
Yeah.
Maybe, but at least this is the one I thought you did watch.
I think I might have watched that. The Irishman at number 6, and that should count for 6 and 7.
It's such a long movie.
That's a 4-hour movie. It just never stops.
These all feel like Netflix only movies, though.
These are their Netflix originals.
Okay.
Like they're not talking about, really Happy Gilmore was the big one.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so
top movies of all time on Netflix originals?
Right. That, you know what? That's a better way to say it.
That's a good.
You know what? Listen, I'm not interested in details like you are.
It's
okay?
such an important detail. I was just like, wow, these are interesting. I would have thought something else would have done better.
All right, well, let me just round out the list since I'm not good enough. Okay, number 7, Triple Frontier.
Triple Frontier, was that the Jason? No.
That was the Ben Affleck, people.
Okay,
movie.
that's fine.
I didn't watch it. Number 8, The Wrong Missy.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, The Platform.
These are all less noticeable as you get down to the
10,
bottom.
The Perfect Date.
The Perfect Date.
I do not. The top, the bottom 3 there, I don't know what those are. The Wrong Missy, The Platform, and The Perfect Date. Nope. I got nothing. I'm going to have to Google those, but I'm not watching those anyway.
So that was the top movies from Netflix originals.
Yeah. The Netflix originals part's super important.
That's a big point in that.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
This weekend, I've already planned out what is going to be at least one of the movies I'm going to watch this weekend.
What do you got?
I'm going to watch it on Peacock.
Oh, but you deleted it.
No, Nikki, I still have 3 days left. Actually, no, it's probably more than that because I signed up for premium on Wednesday.
So you have 7 days?
It's a total of 7 days, yeah.
No offense to if anybody's loving it, but we just did not find the selection on the Peacock new streaming service to be enticing enough to stick around with it.
So I found one movie that's on Peacock.
What are you going to watch?
I'm interested in. It Came. from Outer Space.
Is this another older movie?
Yep.
I thought you were going to watch a newer one.
1953.
Oh, come on.
While looking through his telescope one night, John Putnam sees what at first appears to be a meteor shower, but it's actually a crash-landing alien spaceship.
Oh, no.
That's what I'm watching this weekend.
That's it.
It's on.
Great.
Last weekend, I watched The Day the Earth Stood Still. Fantastic.
Is that also older, too?
1951. Robert Wise.
I don't know why you're in such an old movie thing.
I have no idea what it is, but I'm into it. Like, I'm loving it. I loved The Day the Earth Stood Still. And Nikki, they did a remake with Keanu.
They did?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that.
That's been my other kick, is that I keep watching the movie and then the remake, and so I need to go back and watch the Keanu remake.
Remember I told you I only
that's not your Keanu?
Yeah,
Hashtag not my Keanu?
Yeah, I only like John Wick Keanu. Maybe every so often something else from him, but really just John Wick stuff.
You know what, though? Maybe his turn as Klaatu will really change your mind.
And how I envision him to be in his personal life, I also like that. So that's about it.
She doesn't like him. She likes what she thinks he is.
Everybody says he's the nicest, and I believe everybody.
I know. Well, Nikki, but the thing is, like, maybe your idea of the nicest and their idea of the nicest are very different.
That's a possibility, but I'm willing to risk it.
Okay.
By still thinking he's a very nice guy.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, well, try to sometime soon watch a newer movie. That way we can all, let's all pick a new movie and jump in on it and talk about it. Have a movie
I'll tell
club.
you what, I watched Brightburn and Zombieland last weekend.
Those are still not new movies.
There are no new movies!
Don't yell. Why are you yelling?
I mean, they're talking...
There's a difference between, 1950s, which is what you're watching.
Brightburn was last year. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess.
Actually, I don't even know if it was... No, yeah, it was last year. It's all running together now. I've been locked up in these rooms for too long. I don't know.
Well, if we can come up with something else, maybe that's current, like a Netflix one or something. I don't know why. We don't have to figure it out now. I'm just saying, if a new movie comes out and we all decide together, hey, this is a great new thing, we can all watch it together and talk about it.
Hey, you know what? Sign up, get your free week of Peacock. It sucks. And you can watch It Came from Outer Space with me this weekend.
Is it the end of the day yet? It's not the end of the day, is it?
Friend, we are just getting started.
We're just getting started with lots of opportunities today.
I don't understand why you're over there hiding your face and rubbing your eyes. What in the last 3.5 minutes has been so objectionable?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. It's allergies.
It's just me.
It's not you.
Just me.
It's allergies.
It's not what you said. It's just you. It's not what you're saying. It's just I can't stand being in this room with you.
No.
And I'm looking for the door.
Let's come back Monday. And why don't you just tell us how it came from outer space? That's what you're watching this weekend?
Heck yeah.
Okay, you let us know how that goes.
It's going to be awesome.
It sounds like it is.
I'm going to go get some ice cream. Maybe
actually,
now
we're talking.
I'm just going to go downstairs. And
it came from the freezer.
It's going to be 100 million degrees outside, but in my basement, I'm going to have the air turned way down.
Now that sounds good.
That's not so bad.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Do you guys remember 100 years ago when there was that college admissions scandal and Aunt Becky was going to go to jail or something?
Yeah, that was... Wait, was it last year or the year before? Because you're right, it does feel like years and years and years ago.
Who the heck knows?
But we do remember it.
So you had 2 celebrities that were involved in that.
Oh, no, there was more than that.
Was there?
That was the main 2 that you heard from. Because remember, there was the one from Desperate Housewives.
And she settled immediately, and she was in and out.
She did her jail time already, but because the other ones were the Aunt Becky person was trying to be not guilty, her stuff was still going on and is still going on. But I think they finally settled on guilty, but some sort of plea deal.
So there's that, right? Okay, but there are tons of other people involved in this. They just aren't celebrity enough for you to know who they are for anybody to care.
They're wealthy.
Wealthy,
they're not
but not celebrity. Not the same thing.
Sure.
And so here's just a case. I was fascinated that it's still happening. And Karen Littlefair, she's just another one of these people. She just wrapped up her part of it. Yeah, she admitted to paying $9,000 to have some
the noise outside. That noise!
It sounds like people are banging on our
They're
doors.
not. You guys might not even be able to hear it, but the construction outside our building is something today.
She paid $9,000 for someone to take her son's courses for him at Georgetown University, which, like, okay, I realize that I don't know what I'm being by saying this, but what's the point in going to college if you're paying somebody else to take the classes?
The person's parents might have pressured them into going to college. So to keep up you go to college, keep up a score level, and then you get a job, and it shows like probably they probably had their child's future all planned out.
Listen, why does your manager suck? Because he didn't actually go to school for anything.
He didn't do anything.
Okay, but she's got to pay $209,000 fine.
That might not be a lot to them.
Probably not. 300 hours of community service.
That's not bad.
5 weeks in prison.
That
which
I wouldn't want.
But she probably won't even get it. She'll show up, do 2 days, go home.
It's nice prison. It's the different prison. Usually, it's a different prison.
Yeah.
They have different ones.
But
it's not like a maximum one.
I just thought it was interesting that I know that you're not going to hear it talked about very much. Basically, once the celebrities are done, that moves on. But there are still, that lawsuit is going to go on forever. Mm-hmm. There are so many people that are still getting sentenced and still going to jail for the cheating scandal.
That was a big case when they cracked that, I guess you want to say. There was a lot of people involved in it. It was a big sting.
You know what? I'm going to say it out loud, and I'm sorry, but I was one of those people that like to learn.
Oh, well, you're not the norm. Everybody wants out of everything.
Bart's learning on his own.
How could your mom not pay for you to get out of things?
I know. Way to go, Mom.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, I don't know if you have yet, but it's probably time for you to run out and get an Xbox One X because they have stopped manufacturing them.
That's it? Last call? Is that basically what it is?
Last call for the Xbox One X.
If you want to have not you just have to buy a used one after that, but this would be the last one before the new one comes out.
They have stopped making the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series or Xbox One S digital only edition. So it's kind of specific, I know.
I just want to make sure you're buying the right one.
But the reason they're doing that is because, as Nikki said, they're ramping up for producing the brand new Xbox Series X, which is going to be released sometime this fall.
Obi thinks in November, but we'll see.
I do think it's going to be November. I think it would be smart. I think that PlayStation is right now planning on a November release. They haven't said that. But I think whoever can should go first.
Well, I think November is actually a month too late, but it is what it is. Like, they're not going to listen to our opinion. But
we're analysts.
Here's what's happening, okay? We're running out of stuff to do. And at least we can go outside. But we're getting closer to the times where we used to have sports, and I don't know about college football. So I don't know if we're going to have the distractions of college football, and then, it gets colder outside. We need to have something. So I actually think October would have been a better month to jump in on the console stuff because we need a distraction at that point.
I don't disagree. I think that we're going to end up with it. To me, the big if is, will people have the money? Mm-hmm. Will the disposable income exist? And will there be enough disposable income at launch to buy those consoles? Yeah, they'll sell out. And I think that if they're smart and they can get as many out there as they can, they've got a chance for like a red letter year, big time sales, because just what Nikki said, we are bored.
We're running out.
And I'll tell you what.
And we're all still working, but we're running out of the free time fun stuff.
Yeah.
And at least for me and a lot of people I knew, we went through all of our stuff in quarantine. You got a lot of stuff you could sell. You were supposed to start selling all those items, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I think as far as if they wait too late into November, then you're getting into, what's Christmas going to look like? How am I supposed to spend all that money closer to Christmas,
et cetera.
Yeah, then people get a little bit more worried, rightfully so. So October, I thought, would have been a better choice.
Seemed like a good idea, right? No, I'm with you, Nikki.
We'll see what comes of it.
And then next week, I think it's July 23rd. So is that when? So like, what is that? It's next Thursday.
July 23rd?
July 23rd. They'll be having they say, kind of like how PlayStation had their big thing a couple of weeks ago.
Press conference.
They say this is going to be a much bigger, like you're going to see the new Halo game and different things like that. If people still care about Halo. And I don't. Outside her heart.
Obi will care about anything right now.
What do you have? I care.
I'll care for a moment, and then I'll decide. I'll take it.
Can I stream it free? I'm in. I'll watch it.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Boom, baba. Here he comes. How can his body even sustain itself under all that weight?